Hey, happy Sunday. It is March 24th and it is delightfully sunny out this morning. So sunny that I didn't turn on my light to record this video because even though the window is kind of small, I think there's enough sunlight to make do this morning. It's like 11:15 right now, and I am shortly going to go out to the grocery store and get some food. My fridge is looking a little empty right now, so I need to stock up a little bit. And because it's Sunday, and as I've complained about before, the stores don't open until like 11:30 or 12. I took some time this morning to do some work and will now head out to the store to get provisions for the week. Some good updates. Yesterday I finished the draft of my qualitative research paper, my qualitative methods research paper, and this morning I finished the draft of my making policy work paper. So that's 6,000 of the 11,000 words I need to write, mostly written. And also this morning, I was able to edit through my qualitative methods research paper and implement some of the feedback I got from it. My sister read it for me yesterday, and she just made some notes on some grammatical things and some other structural changes that might be helpful in the paper. So yeah, that was helpful, and I went through and edited that this morning. So now I'm just going to let it sit for a few days, and then I'll go back and read it again and see if there's anything I need to revise from that. So I find letting it sit for a few days is helpful. Just like stepping away, clearing your head a little bit was good. Which is what I did with my making policy work paper on information campaigns. I had most of it done. It just needed to have a conclusion tacked on, but I hadn't opened it in 3 or 4 days, which was helpful. And then when I opened it this morning and read through it, I felt mostly good about it. I made some slight changes and was able to put a conclusion on it and just get it right under that word limit, as is my MO. Oh, now it's getting dark. Well, it's fine. We can still see me. It's not pitch black. So I'm feeling good about those two things. And then once I get back from the grocery store, I will go for a run. It's a nice day out, nice and sunny, and relatively warm. So I'll go for a run. And then blanking. I'm going to Google video chat with some friends, which will be good. And then depending on the timing, I'll also start sketching out the methods part of my law and regulation paper, which I'll be working on comprehensively tomorrow, but I just need like not a writing session on it, more of a brainstorming session on it. So I will be doing that. And it is Sunday, so then also just trying to take it a little bit easy and relax. And then I have the week outlined in terms of what I need to do each day for paper writing. So I'm going to try to power through that. 2 days, Monday, Tuesday on law and regulation, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday on gender, and then Saturday and Sunday and Monday on bibliographies, the least exciting part of all paper writing. And I will no doubt be complaining about that later on in the week. Even though there's good like platforms to use to help create bibliographies, it's just a pain in the butt. I just wish it'd be like, I sourced it. It's not all my original thinking. I promise. I give credit to all of these people. But yeah, no, I understand it. It's annoying. But other than that, yesterday afternoon, I went to see my first ever show on the West End, which was a ton of fun. I went and saw... that's upside down. The delightful Come From Away, which is a musical whose soundtrack I have loved for a few years now, and was so excited to finally go see it. I looked at ticket prices, and they were less than £50. I think I only paid like 30 something pounds for my ticket, which seemed like a good price, because if I went to try a seat in New York, I'd pay probably $100 to $200. So it was nice that the ticket prices were relatively low. And I had so much fun. I love going to see shows, whether plays or musicals, something I don't probably do enough. I mean, right now, budgetarily, it doesn't make sense, but in my wider life, haven't done enough. And I love Come From Away. It's just this really great story about acceptance and community and, you know, perseverance through a time of struggle, and you know, it's just really powerful and beautiful, and the way it's staged is really great, and kind of like the dual characters that most of the actors play is really fascinating, and it's just delightful. And when you see musical, for like, it's nice for some of the story pieces to get filled in that you don't necessarily hear on the soundtrack. Because, you know, soundtracks don't reflect the whole story necessarily. They don't usually have the speaking parts. But I was anxious about going, because when I booked it, I was like, oh yeah, like, it'll be good. It'll be a great way to celebrate the end of term and to treat myself, and to, you know, like, you did it, your classes are done. But then like going in, like this past week, I was like, what am I doing? Like, you're going to a show in the middle afternoon on a Saturday, which is like great time to sit and write and work on stuff. But I made the right choice to go and see it, and to just spend a few hours just like happy, smiling, weeping at certain, I didn't weep, but crying at certain points about, you know, just like the power of the music, and how great it is, how great of a story it is in the way it's told. So I am very glad that I did that, and it's a nice treat that I'm glad to have. And I don't know, I'm going to be seeing Hamilton, which I've already seen. I saw in Chicago 2.5 years ago. But when my sister Jenny comes in June, I'm going to see Hamilton again, so that will be exciting. And those tickets were cheap too. I think London does something to help keep ticket prices low, because we get seats for Hamilton for less than £40 for sure. I think they were, maybe with processing fees, they were about £40. But yeah, like, that's super exciting. So I'm excited to see that in June. I don't know if I'll see any other shows on the West End. I haven't really looked to see what else is there. But Come From Away has been on my list for a long time. And I was really jealous that my dad and grandma and sister and brother-in-law all got to see New York last summer. On my recommendation, and I wasn't there to see it with them. And I'm glad I found a cheap enough ticket. Some good thought-provoking lines in there. There's the one that I always come back to in the welcome, or the opening number, is if you're looking for a harbor, then you'll find an open door. Just this idea of, like, if you need a place to go, this community is open and ready to accept you into it. And then the idea of, like, we all come from away. No matter where we are, we've come from somewhere else at some point in our lives. And right now I'm a come from away in London. And, you know, that's a powerful sentiment, and it's our duty to welcome those who come from away, and to accept them, and to, you know, embrace them in our community, and welcome them. And in a time with, like, pretty divisive thoughts about immigration and all of that conversation, I don't know, it's just a good way to reflect, and you hope that the other people who are seeing the show are internalizing those messages if they don't already believe them. And with that, yesterday I went into central London, obviously, to go see the show near Leicester Square, and I had forgotten that it was the day of the People's March, a march to basically oppose Brexit and demand a people's referendum and a second vote on the proposed deal, or, you know, deal or no deal, all sorts of kind of like that. But I had forgotten that it was People's March Day. So when I got on the tube, I was like, why is it busy? And so busy? Why am I so crammed on a Saturday afternoon? And then I saw a couple of signs and protesters, and then walking to the show, and then leaving the show afterwards, there's just just an energy and a positive vibration throughout London. Like people had their ability to speak their mind and say what they believe to be true, and also some really funny protest signs, which is always a hoot. But yeah, it was really great to see people speaking up. And I don't really like, I knew there was a march kind of in the back of my head, and I had booked this ticket a long time ago, so I knew I wasn't going to go march because I was going to go to the show. But I was thinking about, like, is it my role to march? I was thinking about my own role in whether or not if the march had been on a different day, if I should go and do it. I mean, I am not a British citizen. I have, no direct stakes in the outcome of this. Obviously there are larger world stakes involved, and, what happens here will impact what happens in the US and in, the world at large. But also I don't, I don't have a vote here, and I'm not going to stay living here. So, would I have marched? And I think so, marching in solidarity with people. I don't think Brexit is the right choice for the UK, the right thing, and especially the way kind of the options have unfolded right now. It seems like there needs to be a pause and a reassessment of what's going to happen, instead of just chugging along to just any bad outcome, which would be no deal, or accepting the current deal as is. Either way, those aren't the best options, and I think more can be done to consider what if remain or leaving the EU needs to happen. Like there has to be a better way than what is currently happening, and maybe there's a way to not leave the EU, but that's a whole nother can of worms around democracy and what voting means and the will of the people and all of that. So that's not for here or there. But I don't know, it was just like I had a really good afternoon yesterday, and I'm glad I went to see Come From Away, and I'm glad I got to spend some time in central London and see the protesters out and about it. From what it looked like, there was close to 1 million protesters, it sounded like, which is quite impressive. And yeah, so feeling good after Saturday, feeling good this morning. 2 papers mostly done. The third paper is 3/4 of the way there, 2/3 of the way there. And the other one has an outline and will start getting written once I talk to my professor on Tuesday about the outline. So there is a plan for progress. We are, 8 days away, 9 days away from Dad and Becky being here. So all good things, all good things. I'm off to the grocery store. Have a wonderful Sunday. Make good choices.